Well, hi again, and welcome to another edition of In the Paint. Andy Bullbarch here with AM 930 WEOL and 100.3 FM. Marissa McNeese will rejoin me again next week. We are getting awfully close to tournament time. As a matter of fact, we are just about a month away on the girls' side and just a little over a month away from tournament side on the boys' side of things as well. So things are really shaping up and things are really heating up as well with a lot of the conference races in Lorain County and beyond. In today's show, we will name our Teams of the Week, brought to you by First Federal Savings of Lorain. We'll also take a look at the WEOL broadcast schedule to let you know which games you can hear on the air over the next week. And we'll also rehash some of the finer performances of the week as well. We're going to start with some milestone performances, and we're going to duke it out in order to do so. How about Wellington Dukes head coach Dan Gundert bringing home career win number 100 in that head coaching career of his. He was able to get that with a victory over Brookside on Tuesday night. So congratulations to Wellington boys head coach Dan Gundert on career win number 100. And we'll continue to duke it out with some milestones on the girls' side of things. A couple of school records were set in the Wellington Dukes victory on Wednesday night, 52-40 over Clearview. Jalen Gibbs pulled down 24 rebounds. She was the chairwoman of the boards that night, no question about it. And 7 trifectas from her teammate, Lexi Wright, both school records. So congratulations to the Lady Dukes. And congratulations to the Wellington Dukes head coach Dan Gundert. 3 big milestones this past week. All right, time now for us to dive right into our First Federal Savings of Lorain Teams of the Week. And we'll start with the boys' side. I'm not sure anybody can really figure out the Lorain County League. One week it looks like it might be Firelands. The next week, the Columbia Raiders step up and they rise to the top. And they did that with 2 huge wins this past week. Head coach Larry Babbix has those guys playing extraordinarily well right now. Keep in mind, this is a team that lost almost every single one of their starters from a season ago, but now they lead the Lorain County League. They defeated Firelands this past Friday, and they turned around and they capped a huge win, a very, very tightly contested contest on Tuesday over Keystone. They win it by just a point in what was a very exciting ball game from start to finish. So congratulations to the Columbia Raiders. They are the boys' First Federal Savings of Lorain Team of the Week. Time to take a look at the girls' side of things for the Team of the Week, and that award this week is going to the Avon Lake Shore Gals. 3 wins over the past 7 days. On Saturday, they took care of Midview in conference play. And a couple days later, they defeated Brunswick. And on Wednesday, they took care of business with a win in conference play again, defeating North Olmsted. 3 consecutive wins throughout the week. Now 12-2 on the season. Coach Dave Zavara's team is playing really well right now. And right now it looks like that could be the team to beat when the sun sets in the SWC. So congratulations to the Avon Lake Shore Gals. They are our First Federal Savings of Lorain Girls Team of the Week. There's a lot going on this week on the airwaves of AM 930 WEOL and 100.3 FM. So let's take a look at the broadcast schedule beginning tomorrow night. Amherst has been one of the best in the Southwestern Conference, and for the Comets, they are home against the Avon Eagles. Avon's had a bit of a rough go so far this season, but they can play spoiler, and they can certainly pull off a big upset tomorrow night if they can take down Amherst. Keep in mind, as good as Midview has been in the SWC this season, Amherst is the only team that's been able to find a way to knock them off. The Middies have just been terrific, but Amherst the only team that's beaten them to this point. On Saturday, we've got a girls' matinee for you as Open Door will play host to the Keystone Wildcats. And then heading into next week, we return to the SWC as the Midview Middies, who we just mentioned. They will travel to North Ridgeville to take on the Rangers, and the Rangers are a team you really can't sleep on, and a really big girls game coming your way next week. It's always big when Avon and Avon Lake meet up. It doesn't really matter what the sport is, but it'll be the Avon Eagles taking on the Avon Lake Shore Gals in a huge SWC battle, and that comes your way on WEOL next Wednesday as well. Before we wrap up, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the huge conference news coming down the pike yesterday. The Elyria Pioneers in the 2021-22 academic year are joining the SWC. That is huge news, and I know that the Elyria Pioneers are very relieved to know that they'll be playing a lot of conference games much, much closer to home. After next year, gone are the days of consistently traveling out to Euclid and Mentor and Solon. They'll be in the SWC in the 2021-22 academic year. That is huge news, and we're very excited about that, to see the Pioneers play the likes of Avon Lake, and that Midview rivalry will certainly heat up again too, so that should be a ton of fun to follow. Again, it doesn't take place until the year after next, so we're very excited about that. That's going to wrap things up on this edition of In the Paint. Next week, Marissa will rejoin me. We'll have a lot to talk about as we inch closer and closer to tournament time. For Bruce Bishop, this is Andy Bullbarch on In the Paint.